Hey everybody, this is RPG here, and welcome to another episode of the 4DS Audio Podcast. Like I said, I am RPG, and joining me we have...
TheBadGamer.
Cardio.
And the Mega Mario.
Yes, we're all here for this lovely and special episode that is going on here on the 4DS Audio Podcast today, where everything is going to be The Legend of Zelda related, which we're all very excited for. How about it, guys?
Oh yes,
So
I am. So much Link Green, Kuparinen Green.
So much Zelda so much Zelda fangasm going on in this episode.
Especially from this guy over here, because I'm a huge fan of the series.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy me and Omega Stay Squad for a while, you'll know why. Those two guys will talk every day.
Oh, no kidding. But anyways, how are you guys doing?
I'm good. I just got back from an 11-hour-long session of Skyward Sword playing.
Dang, man.
It's fun, I tell you. It's
Really so much to do.
So, Ocarina of Time definitely has met its match, huh?
Yes. Come at me, fanboys.
Yeah, come at us, fanboys.
Yup.
I mean, Ocarina of Time is a good game, but we don't definitely think it's the best.
It's the fourth. It's in my top 5, but not in top 3 at all.
Yeah, exactly. And, Omega, what's going on?
Oh, nothing really. Been playing some Four Swords.
Oh, on your 3DS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and people will go mad at me and go, why are you playing that Game Genie, but also Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link?
Ah, I see.
I also seem to be still on your cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's still having technical difficulties, folks. He will get his computer back up and running sometime soon.
Yeah, sometime before Christmas, I'm hoping. It's just that I'm still waiting on a quote when I can get my computer repaired for how much.
Yeah. And, Carlio, how are you doing, my man?
I've been playing some... I've been going back to play some Pokemon White, I've been playing some Ocarina of Time 3D, and I've been playing some Skyward Sword. Actually, I'm playing Skyward Sword, to be honest.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yup.
Yep. I'm apparently the only one who's still waiting for his copy of Skyward Sword, which I won't be able to pick up until tomorrow. But in the meantime, I have been enjoying some Super Mario 3D Land on my 3DS, which is awesome sauce and 2 tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree on that because I just bought it myself.
And I give him an internet high five for that, which we already did before the episode even started because he bought himself a copy. But yes, definitely a good time to be a Nintendo fan right now. And I definitely think the 3DS drought of games is finally coming to an end.
But it shouldn't have been in the drought if Nintendo was thinking, but you know.
Yeah, looks like Nintendo is learning from their mistakes. Finally.
They often do, if you ask me. So.
Yeah, I mean, with every launch of a handheld or a console, they're always going to... I'm not only just Nintendo, but everybody. They always suffer a drought of, games that people want to play. And they usually don't end up at a launch.
Yeah.
I mean, where was Halo 3 when the Xbox 360 launched?
Yeah, it's just... the weird thing is, they... sort of made it for the Wii. I mean, with Twilight Princess was a really good seller. I mean, almost anyone who bought a Wii bought also that.
Well, yeah, but granted, it started out as a GameCube title, but yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I definitely agree. It definitely would have been it definitely was a great launch title for the Wii, regardless, even if it started out on the GameCube at first. But hey, it came out before the GameCube version, so wouldn't that technically make it the original version for the Wii since it came out first?
Well, I think I read somewhere that the GameCube is actually the original, most because of the whole left-handed thing,
Mm-hmm. But in Skyward Sword, Link is always righty.
Although I don't see that. I mean, you can't always expect every Link in generation to always be left-handed. It could be...
Yeah. And even
But
in
hey,
the
just
even in the
sad.
HD experience that we saw at E3, Link was a right-handed while Navi was with him.
Yeah, this sort of thing happens, especially if they're gonna have motion when you swing, and as most people are right-handed, it's
Right.
although
I haven't seen a lefty flip yet though.
Right.
no, I haven't found either. But that and from if I read, I don't remember where I read it, but there are no option to switch.
Ah,
So
I
you're
see.
going right-handed or you're going home?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, anyways, for those of you joining for the 40S audio podcast for the first time, we are a weekly show where we talk about the big highlight, which was the biggest piece of news, Retro Gems, where we talk about a video game franchise, a game or a video game character in retrospect. Then we also go to the big release, which is, like I said, self-explanatory in the last episode, as well as the execution. And then we go to the video game playground to talk about the games that we are currently playing as of right now. And yes, since this whole episode is Zelda-related, it's definitely going to be a really awesome episode for all of you today. So I think it's time to get this Zelda train rolling, to quote Spirit Tracks, I guess. And it's time for us to get on with the big highlight. The big highlight!
It's Zelda madness, everyone.
You sure you don't want to say Gravy Train?
Zelda!
You sure you don't want to say Gravy Train again?
Double R. That was seriously cheesy.
But
Zelda madness on the 4DS, and we kick it off.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
it's too bad no Gravy Train for this episode, but it's Gravy Train for the other episodes. We're kicking this type of train off. This is actually called the Zelda train because this is Zelda episode today. But anyway, to kick off this tradition, and for the big highlight, which we're starting out with, there is actually news reporting from Nintendo and the Zelda series director, Eiji Aonuma, about the next Zelda game that's coming out on the 3DS. And originally, people, when they found out that, Aonuma would express interest in wanting to do a 3DS remake of Majora's Mask, they've been petitioning him to try to get it up, try to get it, in the works. But for the next game, Aonuma says that he wants to actually make the next Zelda game on the 3DS actually be brand new. But the kicker is that it may actually go back to the roots of the 2D Zelda games from the past, like, Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, and even the Minish Cap. And so I have to let you all know, would it really be good for Nintendo to finally go back to the 2D roots for now? Because, we've seen 3D Zelda games for quite a while, and I think it's time that we see another 2D Zelda game. I think the only last 2D Zelda game that we ever seen on the handhelds was the Minish Cap, and that was like in the last years of the Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wouldn't you say Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks were in a sense?
Yeah, but they still had 3D visuals, so that was technically a 3D game overall.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually enjoy a 2D Zelda game as it. So far, I have not played a 2D, at least with the bird's eye view Zelda game that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
The first game is good. Link to the Past is amazing. Link's Awakening good. Oracle of Season and Age are really good when you put them together. Minish Cap is, it's not bad, but it's somewhat good.
Well,
Not my personal favorite.
Minish Cap was actually internally developed by Capcom, so this was the first time that actually a third party did really well for a Zelda game for once.
Mm-hmm.
Although that also
before Capcom went into where they are now.
Yeah, thank you, Capcom. And now you're saying that Mega Man may actually make it to Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Yeah. Thanks for trolling us, guys.
Yup.
Actually, that's not the first time. They actually did on Oracle of Season Ages. Capcom was involved in that also.
Oh, yeah,
back when Capcom was actually, once again,
was still
awesome.
That and the original 4 Swords on the Game Boy Advance that came with the Game Boy Advance port of A Link to the Past as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So
At least, but yeah, that was when they were good before they went to the toilet and just started trolling their entire fan base.
Going in the toilet, in the bathroom, to quote NCS again. So, but yeah, I mean, the 2D games, I mean, they are classic in their own right, and we've definitely seen a lot of 3D games that been making it onto the consoles and the handhelds, and yeah, I do also agree that the Legend of Zelda series is overdue for another, Zelda game in the 2D feeling of the past, And I know that Aonuma has spoken to Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of both Mario and the Zelda franchise, and Miyamoto has expressed a lot of interest in going back to the 2D feeling of the franchise for the next game. And I think that's definitely a strong endorsement right there.
Well,
he did with New Super Mario Brothers, so... He went back to the old 2D style, so...
Granted, it was 2.5D, but yeah.
That's still good.
Mm-hmm.
It still works, so I think it could work. I mean, Nintendo often knows what to do, at least with their good brands.
They know what they're doing, pretty much.
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing. I mean, you just leave it up to Miyamoto, to have a hand in the development of any of the games that he's a part of. It's definitely going to turn into gold in one way or the other.
Also give it to Miyamoto to reset everything if needed.
Talking about Miyamoto, it was his birthday this week.
Oh yeah, he turned 59 this week.
Hey, happy
congratulations,
birthday,
man.
Yeah, so happy belated birthday to my favorite idol in game development.
Happy birthday, God.
Happy birthday, Mr. Miyamoto.
You keep
birthday.
To this.
you keep trucking us along with all those 1-up mushrooms, so that way we can gain infinite lives, so we can become immortal like you. Immortal.
That would be awesome, though.
Oh
it's
yeah.
It's gonna be a sad day the day he has to leave the company.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's going to be leaving Nintendo anytime soon.
No, but the day he does, it's going to be a very sad day for gamers everywhere.
Well, yeah, if the day that he does leave the company is probably the day when he'll pass away, but that's a long time.
Let's not talk about sad part. It's Zelda madness.
Yeah, it's Zelda madness going on right here. But anyways, now...
It's Zelda madness, not Zelda sadness.
Yeah. Not Zelda sadness, but Zelda madness. Good.
Sadness. Wow, good one.
Oh yeah, you had to bring in K-Wife's quote, didn't you?
Yup.
Sadness.
You know it.
Pineapple.
Banana hammock.
But anyways, now, if they do plan on making another 2D game, which game do you think should follow the formula, in the game design? Would they have to try to go back to the original Legend of Zelda, or maybe go to A Link to the Past, or maybe Link's Awakening? Which one would you guys prefer for the next 2D Zelda game with the roots of, some of the older ones making it into the new one?
A Link to the Past. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely A Link to the Past, I would say would be the best candidate. But, since Nintendo is also trying some newer things, especially with Skyward Sword releasing, they wanted to try to, make the formula a lot different this time around. Do you think they ought to, maintain the basics of the Zelda format, or do you think they should borrow some of the inspirations that Skyward Sword has done in the overall presentation?
I can... at least don't make me use the stylus too much. That's all I can say. Don't make me use that as my... As they did with our Phantom Hourglass and the Spirit Tracks. I don't like the way I have to play those games.
Also, don't bring in the Gary sensor too much.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Gary sensor is fun sometimes, but when it's used too much, it's just you would probably just get annoying. I'm guessing.
Or should they Or should they make an adventure, I know that Spirit Tracks was like the first time that Link and Zelda ever worked together, but how about one for an actual, Zelda game in the, in the original roots? Would you like to see Link and Zelda actually work together as person in person?
Yes, I mean, everything is... I mean, maybe for once the Zelda name in the title has something to do with the character, just them being just kidnapped or being mysterious as she always is.
Or be dead if you're playing Spirit Tracks.
New Legend of Zelda, where you can actually play with more than one character.
Oh yeah,
but hence we do have the 4 swords. But yeah.
Although don't take the ideas from Resident Evil 5. Then if you're gonna have her an AI.
Oh yes, don't do that.
Yeah. But I was, maybe I'm mixed between the way that have both Link and Zelda work together, but in Link to the Past style of gameplay, that would work for me at least. But
yeah, but maybe. I mean, if they do one, do a 2D game, then I think Link will definitely need a makeover from Toon Link to something completely new in terms of the character design.
Yeah, he's like a new, entire new Link.
Yeah, maybe maybe one that's kind of in the
maybe 3DS Link.
3DS Link, or maybe somewhere along the designs of Skyward Sword.
Sky's Link.
I would actually like to go back to Link to Past design also. Not in, it shouldn't look exactly, but something in that way. Or maybe from the Oracle Agent season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a good, I had a pretty good design there.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool. And Omega, what would you like to see, for the next 3DS game if it were to go 2D?
Definitely most of what you've been saying, like Link to the Past style and everything, because Link to the Past was like the best looking SNES Zelda game I've known.
Would you rather have it where Link goes through the light world and dark world, or maybe through time, or something completely different?
Well, it would be nice to see a dark world again.
No, I know. Link Generation. We have like a Sonic-esque type.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, old Link and new Link, yeah.
Adult Link and Kid Link working together.
And they have to go into different dungeons from all the different games. And
that would be kind of fun, actually, but it would be too much nostalgia. Kind of like Sonic Generation.
Yeah, what level will represent Ocarina of Time? I know, Water Temple!
No! Screw the Water Temple!
We need a Water Temple. We have many people hate, but what is the one people always dislike? The Ocarina of Time. That is our Water Temple in this one.
Yeah, I had a harder time with Twilight Princess's Water Temple.
How about Great Bay Temple?
That one I hate.
I thought so. Exactly, like I'm gonna say this much. I'm playing. Look, I'm playing the 3DS version of Zelda, and I don't think that the water. I don't think that the Water Temple is that annoying. Because I know why it was annoying in the old games, but when you take away that function, it becomes pretty simple.
Yeah, but still, it was many people. When you mention the Water Temple of Ocarina of Time, people don't think of the 3DS version. No, they think of the N64 and the whole start. Our normal boots float up, go. Oh, I need to do the start. Iron boots sink down. Oh no, I wasn't supposed to go this way. Now I have to turn around. Start. Normal boots float up. Oh no, wait, I need to use the hook. I forgot about that. Start. No, the iron boots float down. And it's an endless.
They need to have new variations of the boots, aside from normal boots and Pegasus boots and iron boots and hover boots. They need to have something like spring boots or fire boots to walk on magma or lava, so that way you don't get hurt.
You know what that's called? You know what that's called?
What?
Goron Mask.
Oh, true.
I know. The Jesus boots. He can walk on water.
Or either the Jesus boots or the ninja boots.
Oh yeah.
To quote Naruto, but yeah.
Yeah, but
I call them the webbed boots, just in case people get touchy over religion.
Yeah, that's true.
Religion! They get all touchy and be like...
Well, come at me, bros.
You want the power of religion? Then go play Castlevania.
I
Yeah.
can do that.
So you can't really call the boots Jesus boots, because otherwise people will all be touchy. So yeah, better call them webbed boots.
Right. Well, anyway, guys, to conclude on this subject, I think we're pretty much all in agreement to where this is going, and we definitely think that the Zelda series is long overdue for another 2D game, and if you want to do a new 3D game, that's fine, but at least, make it good, like most of the other, console games that we have seen, and for a 2D game, just definitely think of, some of the stuff that we talked about in the 4DS podcast as suggestions. I mean, Nintendo, if you are listening to this, because, if you are going to do another 2D game, then we definitely want to see some of those ideas that we came up with into consideration. Definitely would be a match made in heaven for us, and we definitely want to see more 2D Zelda goodness.
And even if you don't take our idea, we're still gonna like it anyway, because...
Oh, yeah. We'll still
it's you guys. We trust you guys.
Yeah, we trust you guys. We know how you handle a great flagship franchise like Mario, and especially this. So yeah, we'll forgive you whichever style, of Zelda you go with. Either 2D, or maybe 2.5D, or 2D.
3D.
Or 3D, yeah.
Well, another Zelda 2.
Hey, I would be up to see another Zelda 2, but one that's actually done right. Maybe something that's kind of like Rastin or whatever.
It could be good.
Yeah,
or maybe something like ActRaiser.
Oh, yes. ActRaiser.
That actually would work if they, went back to the side-scrolling routes. They should, take elements from ActRaiser. That would definitely work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're done with the big highlight. Now it's time for us to go to Retro Gems.
Retro Gems.
Yes.
Retro Gems!
Everyone, let's go back on Catholic Mountains. You're not, you're not caffeine man. Stop it, Mr.
What?
Cup.
No, my name's not Mr.
Let's go back in time, everyone.
I wasn't Mr. Caffeine there. You didn't hear me go.
Almost.
Oh, almost, but yeah, not trying to imitate him. But anyways, yes, as you can tell, for Retro Gems today, we are talking about the franchise, The Legend of Zelda, just to keep going along with tradition.
Oh, Zelda madness!
Yes. So, anyway, guys, the first game in the Zelda franchise was, of course, the original Legend of Zelda on the NES. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
It still holds up.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
I don't know what can I say. What has been said about this game has been said. It's a gem of just. If you want to introduce someone to old retro, just give them that copy. It's where everything started with the Zelda. It's still good. It still holds up. The music is as memorable as it always been.
Mm-hmm.
And what more can you say about that?
I mean, it pretty much was the biggest game on the NES at the time when it came out, and it paved the way for many adventure-style RPGs in the future.
It's The Legend of Zelda, and it was really rad. The enemies of Ganon are really bad. I mean, yes, I just did that.
Mm-hmm. And it was the first time you ever knew about Zelda and Ganon and even the Triforce, but you never seen the Triforce of Courage, even though Link had it on him all the time, but you were pretty much trying to obtain the Triforce of Power to rescue Zelda.
I thought it was Wisdom.
Or either Triforce of Wisdom, probably was, but can't remember.
I think it was the Wisdom, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but the first Zelda game, yeah, it's definitely a masterpiece in all rights.
Yep.
Why, yes.
And then the next game... What?
I got it free as the ambassador program, so...
Oh, yes, so did I.
So did I.
I did not.
Yeah, because you didn't get your 3DS early, so yeah.
Yes, because there weren't that many good games at it. And
yeah.
then Ambassador came down and I went, no!
Hey, Nintendo, where's the Game Boy Advance games? We want those.
Yes, I want my
Golden
Golden
Sun. You got until December to let us down.
Yeah. Okay, and then the next...
Love you.
And then the next game that came out was The Adventures of Link, and most people consider this to be the black sheep of the franchise.
There's a reason for that.
I do agree on that.
I mean, it's very... It's very non-linear, but as soon as you get into the temples, it becomes... how to say it? Annoying? No. It's side-scrolling, that's it. Sorry.
Annoying? Yeah, it is. Annoying.
I only have 2 gripes about the game. The length of the sword that you use...
And the lack of puzzles?
No, not the lack of puzzles, but having to restart at the beginning every time when you get a game over. You start back at the temple where Zelda is sleeping. And you have to make that long trek to get back to the temple where you left off. But thank God for the last temple, you didn't have to do that. Because every time when you died, you start back at the beginning of the temple.
Well, at least Nintendo decided to you know what, you have enough pain, we'll let you start at this temple.
Yeah, and it was a pretty hard game, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to say, you suffered enough. Now, here's some leeway. Thanks, game. Thanks a lot. Just to quote Egoraptor, I couldn't exactly go, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, gee,
And then the next game that came out was probably almost everyone's favorite here on the 4DS podcast, and that is A Link to the Past.
Oh, yeah.
Zelda game ever.
Now, this Zelda game went back to the traditional 2D roots, but it made some improvements with the controls, and it felt like it was a perfect game from beginning to end, like I've always been saying in episodes of, previous episodes of this show.
It is.
Yeah,
it's the muse.
And is the roots of the most famous Zelda tunes ever, Zelda's Lullaby and Kakariko Village.
Yes.
Yep, and it had also one of the most awesome tunes in the Zelda series, which was going into the Dark World.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
And it wouldn't be a great soundtrack if you didn't have Koji Kondo involved, so thank God for that they brought him back, since they did not bring him back in Zelda 2. But at least there was one cool tune in Zelda 2, which was the temple theme.
Yeah.
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 But Zelda 3, Zelda Link to the Past, it was good to have his presence back.
Yeah, the game itself, it's the masterpiece of masterpieces. It's in the series. It had a lengthy quest, many dungeons and bosses, and which you needed to defeat in their own ways. Many different items that were usable in its own ways. Tons of upgrades. 3, just counting if you go by the items that he always have is 3 levels of shield, 3 levels of armor, and 4 levels of sword. Just there is 10 upgrades.
Right. And you even had upgradable tunics as well.
Yeah, those are the armors I was talking about. Just tunics.
Yeah, the tunics.
Blue. My favorite is the blue one, actually. I like this blue.
Yeah.
Although I always grab the red because I need that defense that you need, because otherwise Ganon can kick.
I wonder why they did not go to level 5 to where you can actually make the sword platinum colored. Because isn't platinum supposed to be a stronger metal than gold?
Yes, I don't know. Why not just make a silver sword? I mean, if you need silver arrows to defeat Ganon, wouldn't a sword be much more effective?
True.
I mean, at that I don't need to aim myself and then shoot. I mean, that final part when everything goes dark is a pain.
And it was also the first time that we ever learned about the history of Hyrule. And the first time where we actually had a bit of story in the gameplay.
Yeah. And a bunch of secrets also in the game. Chrysolian Room, like in Kakariko Village, there's one painting with Mario's face on it. If you pull it, you would get like 4 red rupees.
I remember there was one item that I always could not remember where it was, and that was the Cane of Sabroso, or the blue cane.
Yeah, I haven't played that in so long. I've only got it once, and I don't know how I got it.
Well,
every time.
Well, I was gonna say it is located at Death Mountain, but you have to.
Oh yeah.
You have to find one of the spots to go down the mountain. You know that you have to jump off to reach one of the ledges that you can't even reach on foot.
Yeah, you have to go in a very labyrinthic way to get it, and I never bothered with it because it was never real. You don't need it. That's the thing.
I mean, it's kind of like the invincibility cape in a sense, but you just.
I know how to get that really fast. I can get that extremely. I can get it very early in the game, and it's very useful to have, especially in the ice dungeon, in the dark world.
Mm-hmm. And then the next game that came after that was Link's Awakening on the Game Boy.
Good game, actually. Although it's not my favorite. It has some flaws in it.
Yeah, it has its own flaws, but for a handheld game, it's pretty well made.
Oh yeah, the only flaw I found was some of especially the level 6 dungeon was. I hate when you have to knock off the pillars and that boss. If you fell down, you had to restart. You had the fight reset itself with health and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated that.
I liked going into the mountain, the mountain temple, which was level 7, the Eagle Tower or whatever.
Yeah.
I always like traversing up that mountain when you have that chicken right behind you, because you can use that to help you, get across the mountain areas or whatever that were kind of hard to reach on foot.
Yeah. Although it had really good music, especially the Ball Out of Windfish.
Mm-hmm.
That one was really good. I always saved before you had to crack open the Iron Yoshi egg, because I like when all the instruments were playing.
Uh-huh. And it was the first time that we ever seen Talon and Malon actually appear in a Zelda game, even though they were called Terran and Marin at the time.
Yeah. And Link could be a thief.
Oh yeah, if you manage to steal an item, and if you go back into the item shop, then you're automatically killed with an electric gun by the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get your name. And you get
that's
your
the way
name
to kill Link if he really annoys you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Link is impervious to anything but an electric gun. Gosh, why did they have guns in that game? This is supposed to be a fantasy setting, not modern day society, folks.
Are we going at this again?
Well, if you think about it, this was all in his mind. This was just a dream, so.
Hey, spoilers.
Oh, come on! That game is so old. If you haven't played, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's still spoilers, man.
Okay.
Whatever we're gonna talk about this game, it's gonna be full of all these games are gonna be full of spoilers. Just ahead now because of the people who like to whine.
Yeah.
All
okay.
the spoilers.
Okay. The next game was Ocarina of Time, which a lot of people say is our favorite, but for most of us, we definitely declare it as the overrated of the bunch.
Actually, no. That's not the overrated one in my opinion. The overrated one I will talk about later, but it's still a good one. I admit I have played it a bunch of times. I've beaten it. I love the music. Although I still hate the water temple and basically not the spirit temple. What was the 4th temple?
Shadow temple.
Yes, the shadow temple.
Oh, that was at Kakariko Village, though.
Yeah, but I hated that temple.
Yeah. But it was also the first time where we actually seen some character development for the main villain of the series, Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, and the best piece of music in Oh yeah, go.
He can be defeated by a bottle. You don't need the Master Sword. You can use a standard long milk bottle.
You can?
What?
Yeah.
What?
You know,
Yeah.
the infamous tennis match.
Oh yeah. The bottle.
Right,
yeah.
double R. Mike from Cinemassacre did a glitch video with the gold cart of Ocarina of Time on the N64.
Uh-huh.
It showed that it can be done with the bottle. Guess what? It can even be done in the Ocarina of Time 3DS. That glitch is still present.
No way.
Yeah, I've got a
glitch, though.
I've got a photo of it on my Twitter.
Oh my god. I definitely will have to give that a shot next time I play Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. But
yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'll give it a shot whenever I get to Ganon.
But yeah, I mean, Ocarina of Time was definitely the first game in the Zelda franchise to ever go 3D, and it definitely was good. I mean, I definitely think that the 3D worked in terms of the gameplay. It was definitely different from the bird's eye view, and it made it act more like a hack and slash rather than just,
It was an adventure hack and slash. There we go.
Yeah.
What was still fun for me though is walking into people's houses going la da 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 da, smash smash smash.
Oh yeah, just smashing their pots and all that.
Yeah.
Open other people's cupboards. You know that.
Okay, and then the next game that came after that were Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
My favorite Game Boy Color games.
Yeah, they were pretty good, and
although you lose the experience if you don't have both of them, which is kind of sad.
yeah, and you have to connect them together in order to get the true ending.
Although that's just a very short code. It's not Golden Sun code we're talking about here, actually.
Yeah, at least
Although there was going to be 3 of them, but one got cancelled.
It was the green one with Pharaoh. It was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Pharaoh. Anyway, the green one, but that's because it would be so complicated to juggle between 3 games with the codes. So.
And then the next game was Majora's Mask.
That, in my opinion, is an overrated one. It's a good, but I never liked that game.
Yeah, I keep hearing things that, the people who say Ocarina of Time is overrated actually like Majora's Mask more, and I think it's because Majora's Mask actually holds more of a learning curve rather than Ocarina of Time.
I don't care about the learning curve. I just never liked the whole 3 days, and then you have to restart.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, yes, I like Dead Rising 2, and I like Dead Rising with the whole and the time. I never have any problems with the whole time pressure. It's just the 3 days, and it was basically measured out that of course, there are some people who actually managed to beat the game in only 3 days.
And plus, it was a really short game, too.
Well,
Now you have to keep playing this from the time over and over and over again.
Yeah, you lose all your items over and over again. It's like, why?
Well, at least the game doesn't end after 3 days, not like Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
understand. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of lame.
I just hated the constant pressure. I mean, sure, there were some people who managed to beat the game and actually recorded in like the 3-day challenge, as it's called. You beat the entire game in 3 days. Like, how did you do that?
How do they do that?
I guess they managed to play that song where you can actually slow down time.
The inverted version.
Yeah.
I know that trick, so that's no problem. It's just it's always a time pressure. I managed to get like, and the problem is the last time I played, I came to a giant stop. I don't know how to get to the 4th and final temple in the game, and from there I haven't been able to continue because I don't know what to do, and I don't want to.
You kind of can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to grab a bunch of items and then meet some mummies, and you're supposed to do a whole lot of like. No.
I will say this much though, that Majora's Mask is probably the darkest Zelda game ever made.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, Peanut Butter Gamers certainly explained that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good video, Austin, and we really do like it.
Yeah, of course, I do like it. I mean, you're
Okay.
good. You're good.
All right, the next set of games that came out were the Four Swords games, specifically the one on the Game Boy Advance. That came with the the Game Boy Advance remake of A Link to the Past, as well as Four Swords Adventures on the GameCube.
More of a port of a Link's to Past. A Link to Past.
Yeah.
The only thing different was that when he attacks with his sword, you have the young Link screaming.
Yeah. But in the original version of the Four Swords, you couldn't even play the game with single player. You actually had to have multiplayer to help you out.
Just to play, so I could open that extra dungeon that was in A Link to the Past, because I so wanted to play that. I actually went out and bought a second one, and then made one of my friends play with me just so I could beat the multiplayer parts that would unlock. Just to do that.
Yeah.
You got balls of steel, my friend.
Yes, I
So
do.
yeah, if you're a social shut-in or no friends near you have a Game Boy Advance, you're basically stuffed.
Yeah, I don't have many friends, but I just managed to convince one of them to just help me do this because I really wanted to play that extra dungeon that I heard so much about.
Right.
I was like, "You play with me now," and of course I had
You
to
play with me
lower
now.
my-
Do it again.
I had to lower my gun, so
But at least the Anniversary Edition came out to where you can actually play the original Four Swords in single player, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, that
Yeah,
is,
and it's got homages to the original Zelda, Link to the Past, and Link's
Everything.
Awakening. And let me tell you, the Link to the Past level on Four Swords 3DS and DSi. Oh my god.
I haven't played.
Sounds like he's having an orgasm, folks.
haven't-
No, that's how it made me feel. It made me feel so happy. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
Uh-huh.
I haven't played so much of it yet because I've been busy with other
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, so have I. I still need to get back to it, but... And then Four Swords Adventures came out, and it was the first time where the Four Swords was ever in single player, not only as multiplayer, but single player as well. And it looked like it was more of a throwback to A Link to the Past in terms of the graphics.
Which also made me feel in the same way.
Yeah.
I had more. I didn't have anyone to play with me, so I had to play by myself. It was kind of boring. I wish I had.
Well, at least you
someone
can
else.
have your links in different positions to where they can actually attack in many different directions to keep yourself
Oh, yeah.
protected from the huge onslaught of, guards that came after you. So, yeah, it was
Yeah,
always
but
fun.
all you had to do was do the diamond formation, just hammer on the attack button, and you were barely indestructible
Uh-huh.
because you covered then all the loops and then not loops, but you covered the entire area. So I was just spamming
Yeah.
when the
do a spin attack and you're more sorted.
Mm-hmm. And then the next game that came out was the Winwaker.
yes,
Now this-
Wind Waker.
Now this one is if I understand correctly, this one is kind of controversial whether you like it or not, right? Because some people say, "Oh, this is one of the greatest games of all time," but some say, "I hate the sailing."
Yeah, the
I
sailing
enjoy
takes
this because-
takes a while to get through, but
But other than, from what I haven't played the game myself. I'm going to be honest, but from what I can see, I don't see how the sailing could be the worst part of the game. I mean, it looks fantastic.
Mhm.
My
It's
eyes.
just that sometimes, especially it has all to do with the beginning and the final, before the final level. In the beginning,
Oh yeah, that.
in the beginning was like going from one place took a lot of time. Especially first you had to go to the volcano island.
oh yeah, Dragon Roost Island.
Yeah, Dragon Roost. Then you would go there to the Forbidden Forest, way across down on the ocean. Then you were supposed to go there, and then go to west, almost outside west from the wet map. Then you had to go back to the island with people in it. I'm so bad with names.
Well, it's just the ending really killed it for me. Well, before going back to the land of Hyrule, because we had to go around the sea to find all the areas where Tingle was going to be to, decipher the maps, and deciphering those maps actually cost a big, huge penny.
Yeah.
No, that was like, I mean, I have done. I searched the maps. I looked for the shards, and I did that. But now, whenever I play that, the moment I go to that point, it's like, nope, not anymore.
Yeah. I
plug in my action replay, and I get the entire thing.
Yep.
I don't want to see that fairy. I don't want to do that hunt. All I do is want to continue my game.
Yeah. And I guess you could say that Wind Waker is kind of a love-hate relationship overall.
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, the reason there was rumors to say the reason why we have this was they had to span out the game as it was. You were actually supposed to have 2 more dungeons in the game, but for some reason they took out, and that's how we got this giant fetch quest.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to stretch it out, and this is the reason why. And if that's true, then why?
Well, thank God that you had the Wind Waker to transport you to areas.
Yeah, if you
already traveled.
If you knew that if you went into those giant cyclones,
yeah,
cyclones, you could get the ability to teleport through the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And then the next game that came out was the Minish Cap.
It's a good game. The one that
it's interesting, all right.
Yeah,
not really that memorable to me.
At least it improved on the rock feather in terms of like jumping in the air or having that cape to help you.
Yeah. Although the boss battles, I do admit, was really fun, especially the one in the sky. When you rode that giant man.
Yeah. But Vati was pretty difficult for the final boss.
Oh God, yes, it was. Oh. And the thing is, there weren't anything potions or something in this game. At least not what I could find.
But I will have to say, my only gripe with the game is that every time when you die, and if you have any fairy bottles, the maximum amount of hearts that a fairy replenishes you after you die is a total of 5 hearts. That's it.
Yeah, it was useless. That's why I went to if you managed to connect some of the Tinker Stones or whatever they were called,
the Kinstones.
You would like the god, Nairo, Pharaon, and Den would Den,
Faror, and Nehru. Yeah.
Nehru, yeah. And
how dare you say them wrong? And you call yourself a Zelda fan?
I am bad with names. I'll tell you that. I'm so bad with names.
I've noticed.
And if you talk to them, you will get like there's part of their spirit which could increase your attack power, increase your defense capabilities. When I went to that final boss, I had all my bottles with high defense, so it would take much longer for him to kill me.
Yeah, I actually did like the Kinstones. I definitely thought that was a really unique mechanic for a Zelda game.
I did not like it.
Where you can actually connect them to, unlock all sorts of secrets and all that.
Yeah, but the problem is, I came to a grinding. I was trying to unlock the final, so I could get the green spirit, so you could have. I guess it was a pharaoh. But I did not. Shut up, Carlio.
Just kidding.
I just I never found the correct piece for that one who I was supposed to connect with.
Okay.
No matter how much I tried to search for the correct one, I never got that. I don't know what I did wrong.
So overall, it was a good game.
It is a good game.
Yeah.
It's just not that memorable to me either.
Alright, then the next game that came out was Twilight Princess.
That one I like.
Yeah, I really liked it too. And it's the first time that we ever seen Link well, even though he was a teenager in the game, it was the first time in adult form where he actually played as Link the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As an adult. But they also had the mechanic where he had to be a wolf to go through the Twilight Realm.
Yeah, and to be able to howl Zelda's lullaby to do stuff, into like using the ocarina.
The only thing I did not like.
Oh, shut it!
Stop.
Well, they weren't my ears.
Yeah, mine too.
My ears are bleeding.
Sorry.
I only
Better
had
be sorry.
one problem with that game, and that was when you had to hunt for the lights in the twilight.
Mm-hmm.
That was tedious and annoying. Although you only had to do it 3 times, it was still annoying.
Right.
Oh yeah, and when you had to get the Master Sword with those jumping statues, that was really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like jump one way and then they jump and then although it is still a good game, especially the Water Temple boss. My God, that one just made me feel small the first time
when going inside that big huge arena, when sinking down into the water,
yeah.
I actually kind of felt a bit of claustrophobia.
I just felt like this one is going to be a giant.
Or, it made me feel like, oh, I'm scared a little bit. It looks like this boss is actually going to be very scary.
And then you see that little thing, but like, oh, is that all? And then it's like, giant mofo. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Giant Morpha.
And then it's like, holy goddess.
But it was actually called a Morpheal, if I remember.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah, it's a good game overall. It's really good. I definitely think it's on par with Ocarina of Time.
And then the final boss with Gandalf. If you have the fishing rod, you can confuse him with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know you could do that. So then I saw a video like you could do that. Then I went trying stuff. I was like, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like that.
And then the most recent Zelda games that came out after that were the Zelda DS games, which were Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
And one of them I hated.
Phantom Hourglass sucks.
Well, I definitely think it improved the exploration with the boats.
Maybe so, but still, it sucks. For me, that is the tedious of going back and forward to that temple and the time limit, and I did not play along on that game.
Yeah.
I have never beat it, and the same goes with Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit Tracks really did get a mixed reaction from a lot of people because it was the first time you ever used a train to travel from land to land.
I don't really, as I said, I don't care about what the new thing is. I mean, that's the same thing that Zelda's always been. They have something new that makes it different from the old one.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the train, but the thing is, as the main problem I had also with the Phantom Hourglass was still in this Spirit Tracks, and that was the combat. I don't like to play that way.
Don't like to play it with the stylus?
Yeah, it was. Sometime I was like, oh, chop now. No, you don't do anything. Come on, attack!
Well, at least with Ocarina of Time 3D, it goes back to using the buttons and the...
Yeah, and that I like. It's just doing that every time. Like, come on, attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Now go around, do a spin attack. Do a spin attack!
Yeah, I mean, there are some DS games where using the stylus is done correctly, but there are times when you're just like, oh, I just want to use the buttons instead.
Yeah, this was... I mean, I want to do a spin attack. Do a spin attack!
Yeah.
I tell you what, I do prefer buttons over touchscreen when it comes to Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because I have more fast reaction with my thumbs than I have with my entire hand, and that style is like, oh, go over there. Okay, spin attack. No. Go over there.
Yeah.
Spin attack!
So, overall, to conclude Retro Gems, Zelda has had its really good ups, but it had some games that had some really bad downs. But overall, the satisfying.
We haven't even gotten to the worst part yet.
No, we haven't.
It's coming. Oh, it's coming.
It will be coming once we get to the execution. So, but yeah, the Zelda series has been. The Zelda series has been one that that has been, like I said, had its really great ups, but also had some really bad downs. But the series still managed to pave way for a lot of other games that came out, like Okami and Darksiders, with the whole gameplay formula of The Legend of Zelda, and even like Dark Cloud, for instance. And overall, it still continues to amaze us to this day, and we look forward to seeing more games in the series to come out to, enthrall us all. But anyway, and we also know that
the music's so good, I can go around on Oblivion playing the Zelda's Hyrule Field theme from Ocarina of Time, and it just suits the game when you're on horseback.
Oh, yes. All right. And we know that there's one game that is a part of the series which we did not mention yet, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to mention it right now. And that's a perfect segue to go over to the big release.
The big release!
Which I'm currently playing, actually.
Yes.
I just played.
And the big release this week is, of course, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Wii.
Yup.
Great game.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
The game that
go buy it.
Everybody's must-have game for 2011, what seems like. That, and I know lots of other people were looking forward to that other game that I don't want to mention, that has the letters M and W and a number 3 in it, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, for us retro junkies and, Zelda fans, yeah, this is definitely Game of the Year for us.
Oh yeah, that's a smart
it
game
is.
of the year.
It feels. I think it is going to be my game of the year too, at the pace it's going.
But unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I don't have my copy yet because it's not out here in America just yet, but it will be available tomorrow, which I am going to pick up since I do have the limited edition pre-ordered and paid off. And yes, I'm going to be enjoying massive amounts of weeks of this game, and it's going to be another great experience for me. So, for you guys, how is Skyward Sword coming along for all of you?
Awesome.
Great.
I don't have it because I don't have my Wii.
Oh, dang. You need to go buy yourself a new one.
The Swedish guys are playing. High five, Colio!
Yay!
Brofist.
Hög femma, hög femma.
Hög femma!
Not right, that's not actually what it's called in Swedish, but yeah. Oh yeah, Sweden, by the way.
Yeah. I bought myself limited edition with the golden Wiimote and everything. And this game is, you need to go out and buy this. If you live here in Europe, buy it now. If you have a Wii, it's good.
Nice. And if you live in America, pick it up in tomorrow, right?
Pick it up when it comes out, and if you listen to this when it's out, why are you listening to this? Turn this off, go buy it, and go play it.
Go buy that game and buy Super Mario 3D Land since they both came out on the same day in Europe.
Yeah, do that also, and tell your friends about this podcast.
Yes.
By the way.
You do realise that the more you do go and buy Skyward Sword, the more you'll help Operation Moonfall get Majora's Mask 3DS.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Go buy it.
Go buy it.
So, what are some of the things that are new about Skyward Sword that has not made it into the other games that you actually like?
How about the fighting style? I am surprised. I'm gonna say it. That's said when I played the game on Game X, but that Swedish thing I talked about like 2 weeks ago or something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, just as I said then, I will say it again. It works surprisingly good, and it works even better. I mean, the only problem is that just as I thought, you're gonna have to reposition yourself sometimes, but other than that, it works fantastic, really. I mean, I was worried it was going to be bad, but no, it doesn't. It's bad. It's great. It's awesome.
I myself had a big question of how am I gonna is this going to work? Is it going to work even if I sit down? Is my swing's going to be in the way when I don't knock anything over? It worked really well. The only gripe I have is the repositioning. Sometimes certain weapons get like you almost have to when you get out certain weapons, immediately point the Wiimote at the screen, or otherwise it's going to be everywhere, and then you have to reposition the controller, and there's but it's just it's an easy one. Just press down on the D-pad, and it immediately goes to the center. But
yeah,
it's fun. The music. Oh my god, the orchestra.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
the first Zelda game to be fully orchestrated.
And my god, we should. This is what we have been missing, guys. In the Zelda, is a fully orchestrated soundtrack.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of orchestra, pretty much, from what I understand, every edition of Skyward Sword comes with the Zelda. Come with some tracks orchestrated, mostly Twilight Princess, but still, it's not bad.
Actually, no, it's the entire medley of it. I mean, it's a medley of Windwaker's Twilight, the Gerudo Valley from.
Oh yeah, really.
It's also
that's an awesome one.
Then it's only 8 tracks, but all of them are really good. I've been listening to them myself, and
even Zelda's theme backwards.
Haven't done it yet.
Oh, you haven't heard it in the soundtrack yet?
You mean Skyward? You mean Skyward Sword?
Yeah, from Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
No, you mean is that Battle of the Goddess? I don't remember.
The main theme of Skyward Sword is Zelda's Lullaby
so it's
backwards.
Oh, okay, so it's Battle of the Goddess then. It's called that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like it a lot.
At some point, the Song of Goddess got flipped and became Zelda's Lullaby at one point in history.
I like it. I like it. I mean, it's a good track. It might be one of my favorite tracks of all time, to be honest. Especially the harp version. Oh man.
And how is the new antagonist holding up? Is he a good antagonist, or is he not on par with Ganon's evil?
Flamboyant? You mean Flamboyant Boy?
Yeah. Girium.
It's a flamboyant. It's a really flamboyant bad guy, and you have to see him. You have to face him. He is so.
I mean, he's so flamboyant. He's creepy. Really.
He's even worse than Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, man.
So
camp, so much camp.
Pegasus.
Yeah, he's camp.
He's
Up
camp
the
like
butt.
Heck. Up the butt.
Has he proved to be a really strong adversary when you're fighting against him, or is he pretty much a cakewalk?
I mean, that was pretty. I wouldn't call it a cakewalk. I mean, he was the boss fight was on the Game X. I think I'm actually going to face him now, but I mean, he's not a cakewalk. I mean, you need to have some fighting skills to be able to beat him. But other than that,
I think you're gonna meet him multiple times in the game. You meet him actually quite early, and you get not spoiler to anyone actually, and if you can handle this or double R. It's just that you face him. He's the first boss in the first dungeon.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
And it's just some people might be so I'm just alerting now.
Yeah.
And even there, he was actually kind of a challenge because I didn't really know. It took some time before I figured out how to really fight him because he is holding back.
Mm-hmm.
You just know it when you face him because later on,
he doesn't even try to hit you really.
No, not just like a swing of the sword, and it's like a dash attack. It's so easy you can knock away, but he is holding back, and every time you meet him, although maybe not fight him, but when you see him, you just know that the next fight when you face him, he is not holding back.
Yup.
He's going full frontal assault on you, so I'm ready.
Oh well, it reminds me of some other people from other franchises I know who hold back but show off their full power near the end.
Yeah. But still, he's still kind of funny the way he talks.
Oh yeah.
So
not as awesome as Quickwit though, as the Quickwits though, but you know.
Yeah.
Keep a leap.
So overall, guys, Skyward Sword, I take it you guys definitely give it your 2 thumbs up.
I give it
my 3 thumbs up. Explain that.
Give it 10 thumbs up, or give it 11 stars out of 10.
I give it 11 thumbs up.
I give them 3 Triforce out of 3. There we go.
Yeah, that's a very good rating system right there. And
Yes.
but yes, for those of you in Europe, if you have not bought Skyward Sword just yet, but you are planning on picking it up this Christmas, it's definitely a great holiday gift for you. But if you have the money, definitely go pick it up today. But for us Americans, yeah, we'll just have to wait till tomorrow, which I'm definitely going to be picking up, and I'm going to have lots of fun.
Also, it's a great title to pick up for if Nintendo end up pulling a 3DS and not having great launch titles for the Wii U.
Yeah. Come on, Nintendo. Let's see a Zelda game be a launch title for the Wii U as well.
Saw the tech demo. You cannot cheat us, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully you still go by what the Zelda tech demo looked like, or at least make it playable as like a short game or something.
Just give us something with either Mario or Zelda, and I'll be happy.
Or maybe even both.
Yeah, both. Give us both.
Yes, both. We want both.
I'm sorry, I had to say that because you know what 3DS is like. It's like, oh, you can have Zelda 3DS on launch day, or 2 months later. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh yeah, with Black Friday, they are having the limited edition Zelda 3DS bundles with the cool 3DS design of Zelda on it.
I'm a bit angry that I didn't know about this because
pity their region locked.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's true. Well, anyway, guys, I think that's done for the big highlight. We definitely give Skyward Sword a 2 thumbs up, and now it's time for us to get angry and go to the execution.
The execution.
Oh, the low light.
Oh yes, and for this special episode today, what? What'd you say, Carlio?
You mentioned Bruce. You know, your kind of, I suppose, bully.
It's Biff, not Groose.
It's Bulk.
No, it's Biff.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
My boy.
Boy, this is what all heroes strive for.
If you didn't get what we're talking about, yes, for this special episode of the 4DS podcast today, we're actually not tackling 1, but 3 games into the execution. And we're, of course, talking about the Zelda CDI games.
We got for a triple kill of Zelda destruction.
I can't wait to bomb some the dongos.
With 2 out of the 3 games, you can actually do the duck walk.
Cool, huh?
No,
not really. No.
No, not really. No, but yes. The games that we are axing are Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, Link: The Faces of Evil, and Zelda's Adventure on the CDI. And if some of you were not familiar about how those games actually were made, then the gist of it is that Nintendo was trying to come out with this CD-based add-on for the Super Nintendo that never even came through when they did that with both Sony and Philips. Although Sony made the PlayStation after, their failed attempt. But Philips had more...
Sony robbed off and made the PlayStation, which is now made and got the size in the console wars, while Philips got a thingy from Nintendo saying, yeah, you can use our characters in your games. We don't mind. Little did Nintendo realize they were going to suck on this magnitude.
Yeah, little did they know that, they were about to get a rude awakening.
The only good thing that came out of these games is the YouTube poop videos that came out.
Yeah, my boy.
Excuse me, princess.
That's the only good thing. Nothing is good in this game at all.
Can I have a kiss for luck? No way.
What language was this originally wrote on, and who interpreted this? I mean, it's not even English. It's like someone who has English as their third language.
Yeah. English is a third language. Oh my god.
So the French people, pretty much.
Almost, I'm guessing. Well, yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. Better watch what you say, Carlio, or else you're gonna
I'm
piss
just
off
kidding,
lots of
just kidding.
French people. But
What? They're just gonna run away anyway the moment we show some fighting spirit.
But anyway,
Keep moving on, let's keep moving on.
the gameplay in the two side scrollers, they pretty much resemble the Adventure of Link in terms of the gameplay, but their biggest flaw is lots of flaws.
Yeah, they're a lot worse. Zelda 2 bearable. These, oh god, even the mere thought makes me want to run to the toilet.
And it's just the thing
And
is when you fight against the bosses, they only just take one hit, but everybody else, they take multiple hits. It's like they're actually making a mockery of the bosses rather than the enemies.
Well, actually, one of the bosses, one of the games actually died. One of the bosses died with a book thrown at his face. No, not the. They're like, no, not the book. It's like, you're kidding me. That's how he dies. A book.
You throw a book at Ganon.
Yeah,
And some are really weird. Like the guy with the mouth with a Rolling Stones mouth for his face.
And speaking of Ganon, he's actually more of a joke in the cartoon-based games on the CDI. He actually makes the Ganon from the cartoon series actually look like a mofo, if you pardon the pun.
Dude, the cartoon was like a badass mofo compared to the Wands of Gamelon.
Yeah, Wand of Gamelon and Link's the Faces of Evil, but yeah, and but for one thing that I actually can give Philip some credit for in terms of these games, yes, I'm giving him some credit, but one of the things that I actually do give credit on is the music.
What music?
It's actually, well, it's different. I mean, you can't hear any music in Zelda's Adventure, but in the Wand of Gamelon and the Face of Evil, I actually thought the tunes were actually somewhat interesting, but yeah, what music overall?
Especially in Zelda's Adventure, what was that game? I mean,
digitized actors.
I know. The question is, what was that game at all? What did you do? Who was the final boss? I have barely seen anyone play it. Why? Because you can barely play it.
And what's up with the mushrooms with the faces? The humanoid faces.
What's up with this trilogy of bad at all?
What's up with everything?
What's up with the bad voice acting?
What's up with
Link's a rugged Californian surfer.
Who drew this? Who drew this horrible mess of animation? I mean, I've seen Flash made by one person 10 times better than this.
I even think the animation from the Zelda cartoon series is actually 10 times better than the CDI games.
Dude, it's a masterpiece compared to those.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, we need to remember that this was at the time when everyone thought that FVM was all the rage. And for those who don't think that is full motion video.
It's still no excuse.
Yeah.
No, I know it's not an excuse, but it's still.
This makes shows like the Flintstone like a masterpiece, and they've basically made up the entire scene.
Hey! Don't diss Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera cartoons are awesome.
They may be awesome, but you still can't. But there was still some lack in animation. You have to admit, it just managed to get past all the stops that were at that time. Still good. I just say, if you think about it, there are some flaws in his own animation, but
yeah,
we go way off tracks.
and Ganon is probably the equivalent of Mr. Spacely from the Jetsons. Probably just a goofy antagonist overall.
Yeah, it just happens to.
Link, I'm going to kill you. Wait, no, you killed me.
A book? My God.
It's like the equivalent of Jetsons. Jetson, you're fired.
You will die.
But yes, we can go on and on about the Zelda CDI games, but I don't think we even need to mention anything else because they are just so awful. The gameplay's bad, the design is atrocious, the animation is just ridiculous in terms of, the full motion video. The music is barely present in, Zelda's Adventure, and it's most likely laughable in the 2D cartoonish games, but overall, the CDI games, they definitely need to be thrown into a river, into the pits of hell, and, clearly be forgotten.
Yeah, and did I mention, right, well, Kraken, you can make me do a duck walk. Cool, huh? No. We might as well stick iron boots on you, make sure you're wearing the green tunic, and just leave you down there. Oh, and make sure the iron boots never come off.
And we have lamp oil, rope, and bombs too. And you know what? It's a good thing that the games do have bombs too, because we're actually gonna bomb this game. So, queue up, guy. Without a doubt, or without any hesitation, it's time for you to axe these Zelda CDI games for all eternity. Axe them!
Finish him!
Decapitation!
Yes, so so the Zelda So for the Zelda CDI games, goodbye to you. We no longer have to hear any of your quotes anymore, and you no longer exist in our books.
Hey, that's cool, huh?
Yes, that's actually really cool right there.
And then the king came up and said, "My boy."
Yep.
And that sure was not even boring, was it, Link? Nope, that was awesome. We won, and nothing short of poetry.
Let's move on to the video game playground.
Yes, and thank you, Omega, for bringing that up. So, yep, it's video game playground time, everybody.
The video game playground.
The good old video game playing.
Yes, and this is probably the only part of the Zelda episode that isn't, strictly just Zelda-related, as there are other games that we've been playing too. So, Omega, since you have cats in the background, what have you been playing?
Nintendogs and cats.
Oh!
Hey.
Yay!
Don't just...
No, I picked it up for cheap in a store, so I thought, screw it, I'm playing it.
Hey, I actually want to play that because they have cats. I love cats.
When you have something go bad,
cats. I love every kind of cat.
when something goes bad in your day, just open up Nintendogs Plus Cats and just cuddle your 3DS all day. Oh, you're so cute. But anyway, how is it?
Oh, it's just so funny.
Oh, the game is?
What's that?
Oh, Nintendogs Plus Cats is funny, you say?
Yeah, it's just kind of funny to see the dogs just react when you open up your 3DS like... Oh, hi, dog.
So it's a lot of fun?
Yeah, in some retrospect.
I did play Nintendogs on the Nintendo DS, and I thought it was actually pretty good for a simulation. I mean, thank God it's nothing like the Tamagotchi pets.
Don't even mention those.
My sister
constant beeping when it wants to.
My sister had one of those when those were popular as they were, and so that was also the one point. Yeah, but that was also, and when they were popular, me and my sister had to share a room and hear that during the night. It was like,
oh god, I feel bad for you.
I will open that window and throw that out if you don't shut that one up.
And I think we actually have the official name for the sequel to Nintendogs Plus Cats. It's Nintendogs Plus Cats Plus Ponies.
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna call her Twilight Sparkles, and then I'm gonna have a magical adventures everywhere I go.
And now
Yeah, and then the next one, yeah. Then the next load we'll be seeing YouTube videos go, I learnt this Let's Play of Nintendogs plus Cats plus Ponies. Look, I created Pinkie Pie. Oh, God.
I created Rainbow Dash!
And now Nintendogs plus Cats became 20% cooler.
Exactly.
Anything else have you been playing?
We just gave them a new idea, yes!
Anything else have you been playing, Omega?
Crying now. We put off My Little Pony stuff in this podcast. God damn it.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Shut up, Cardio.
There's nothing wrong with that. We can bring up more of it in the show. I can try.
Shut it.
Well, I've been trying to 1,000 gamer score Sonic Generations, but let's put it this way. The final boss pacifist achievement is hard as heck, and having to go through every stage for the time trial, I can't be asked.
Have you made it as Supersonic yet?
Oh, don't get me started. Do not get me started. Let's be honest, Sega has messed up Supersonic. It used to be far more faster in Unleashed and even the originals. I can beat Supersonic. Right, I can set a time where I'll go back at the start of Green Hill Zone Act 1 with 50 rings, and I can beat that. Well, actually, you can't, in a sense.
Oh, you can actually play through all the stages with Supersonic? Like Sonic Colors?
But it's completely nerfed.
Oh.
I can go back. I can go back some point of the way, and then hit a timer. But obviously, have the time going from the point I'm there with Classic Sonic, and I can beat the Supersonic transformation with Classic Sonic, which means that Supersonic in this game is completely useless for levels.
Yeah, especially if you can beat his own time. I mean, Supersonic is supposed to be the fastest form he can take.
Oh, of course.
So fast.
And also, what also ticks me off is the fact that they said that now modern Sonic is capable of beating Perfect Chaos without having to go Super. If you have Super Sonic and go back to the Perfect Chaos boss fight, you don't need to turn Super Sonic so you can do it in retro style. Nope.
Oh.
Oh.
That's kind of sad.
That's very sad.
That's extremely sad news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have done something like
So that kind of upset me on two fronts.
Well, doggone it.
Well, go play with your dog then.
Yeah. Other than that, is that all of you been playing, or are you playing anything else?
The one game you know I would be playing.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
I do not have the Wii, remember?
Damn. Go buy a new one. So that way you can have one of your own.
Oh no, if I do buy a Wii, I'll buy the Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright, so,
Your choice.
let's see, BadGamer, what have you been playing?
Not much that I would. Well, I did. Well, first I played Skyrim. I beat the entire main quest of Skyrim.
Uh-huh.
And the ending was that final match was kind of awesome, actually. Lucky enough, I actually also managed to beat it the day before Skyward Sword, so I had the entire time just playing that game, which I've been doing. Ever since I came back with that yesterday, I've been playing whenever I can. I've been playing, and I've clocked up 11 hours on that. I am three dungeons cleared, and I got more to do.
It's good to know.
Yeah, and I also played a little bit of Super Mario 3D Land.
Nice.
Which I'm
So
gonna play
you
more
actually
after.
did manage to beat Skyrim?
Yes, well, the main quest, but I still got a bunch of side quests to do.
Well, that's that'll definitely keep you on your toes.
How long have you been playing it for?
11 hours.
Only? And you,
Well,
and you already have completed the main quest, I say, because.
Well, no. In Skyrim, I've been playing 40 hours in that game.
I felt
it's like Dragon Age Origins. If you it only takes 40 hours to beat the game with the main storyline.
Well, I think it would go faster, but since I also have a new quest giver. Yes, I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a new one. Yes, I will do that too. Also, when I'm done with his, and that guy I've just met during my travels to you.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a college, a mage guild. Awesome! I'm gonna do the entire quest of that. I'm now the fucking principal of that. Yes, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I'll edit it.
I'm now the principal of this school. I'm awesome.
No, you're not, dude.
Yes, I am. I'm the principal of a mage guild. I got awesome mage powers. I'm a battle mage. I'm awesome.
Mage.
Anything else that you've been playing?
No. Nope.
All right. Well,
But I'm gonna play some more later after this.
be sure you do play some more Super Mario 3D Land in the meantime as well.
Yes, I am. I'm
awesome. I'm glad to know that you're really liking it.
Yeah, so far.
That's good. All right, Carlio, what have you been playing?
Well, once again, I've been playing some
Skyward Sword.
Ocarina of Time 3D. Actually, once again, some Plants vs Zombies. I'm trying to get a lot of money, but
Oh,
not really
Plants
working.
vs Zombies, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to get all the money, but you know. Anyway, yeah, and of course Skyward Sword, which I'm currently playing right now, and it is awesome.
Something that's not Kingdom Hearts related this time, I see.
I haven't played that
Gas!
much. I haven't played that much Kingdom Hearts 2. Actually, some. I've been playing some Kingdom Hearts 2, but not superbly much.
I think my left eye is just caused pain by the fact that Carlo is not been playing Kingdom Hearts this week. He gasped.
I said I was playing some. Jeez.
Where you were mostly playing Skyward Sword most of the time.
Oh yeah, I've been playing mostly Skyward Sword for this whole weekend. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
No, not really, but I mean, yeah, for this whole week, yeah, pretty much this weekend, yeah, but not the whole week. Sheesh. That would have been awesome, though.
It's definitely going to be a whole week for me because, look, even though I have not completed video capturing of Tales of the Abyss yet. Yeah, Skyward Sword is definitely going to be taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah, I wish it was taking
And
up
since
a lot
I have
of time, but I have a lot of other stuff to do.
Yeah, and since I have a long time with Tales of the Abyss, that'll definitely give me enough time to complete Skyward Sword. You know, with the 100-hour questing and whatever.
It's a good game. Everyone should play it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and is that all you've been playing, Carlio?
Well, yeah, I was playing some Face Raiders on the 3DS, but that's it.
Okay.
Face Raiders is actually surprisingly fun.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. Very good use of the gyroscoping.
Oh, yeah. And also the final boss is so awesome. It's interesting, at least, if anything.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, the games that I've been playing were Super Mario 3D Land, which I mentioned in the breaking news episode, and I will say again, it's definitely lots of fun, and it's definitely on par with the Super Mario Galaxy games in terms of the, of the polish that it holds up, and like I said, I'd definitely declare it as my best 3DS game right now, and definitely for anybody else who haven't played it yet, you'll definitely find it to be the same in what I say. But it's still a really fun experience and definitely holds a lot of replay value. And, it's one that's going to get multiple playthroughs from me even, after I bought it. But, yeah, it's boatloads of fun. But the other game that I've been playing was Shinobi on the 3DS. The new Shinobi game. And
Not the old.
How is it?
Shinobi on the 3DS, well, if you are familiar with the Shinobi games that were on the Sega Genesis, yeah, this one's definitely a return to form. But the thing is that it's a 2.5D side-scroller, which I don't particularly mind, but the thing that I'm kind of griping about in this game are some of the controls that I actually don't agree with. But it's just that.
Like what?
Well, if you remember from Shinobi 3: Return of the Ninja Master, where you can actually hold the attack button to guard, you can't even do that. You have to use the R button to parry, which means that you only have your block out for about a second, and then you go back into your normal stance. So you have to do your best to parry enemy attacks, which is my only gripe, because most of the time you'll end up getting hit by enemies. And
well, that's also because you can get used to like, oh yeah, I played all once, I know check out this gonna work. Wait, I cannot guard. Ah.
Yeah. One of the things I actually do like, though, is that you actually have more use of the sword, so it actually acts more like a hack and slash rather than having to only rely on the kunais to attack your enemies with.
Okay.
Yeah. And the platforming's pretty good, even though it can be sort of wonky at times, and the levels are really long. I mean, it'll probably take you at least 15 to 20 minutes to complete one level. I mean, it's definitely like the old beat-em-ups from the days of old. It's really, it's really long, and, the levels are really long, and it's definitely, it holds up a lot of challenge overall.
Now, I want to play that game.
Yeah, and they also had some, they also had some rail scrolling missions, like when you're riding on the horse or when riding on a surfboard. Yeah, they have those back from Shinobi 3 as well, but you move from side to side, because it's all in 3D mostly.
Oh, of course. And
they're lots of fun as well. And let's see. And I have to say that the depth perception with the 3D actually works really well, kind of like Super Mario 3D Land. For a side scroller, this definitely works. I mean,
they know how to use the 3D. The 3D game.
Yeah, but I definitely prefer it more with the 3D, because I definitely think it only adds a depth of perception to the whole overall presentation. I mean, sure, it's in 2.5D, but at least having the 3D on, it actually adds a charm to the overall experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except this when you play Super Mario 3D Land.
Oh yeah.
Having that on is playing a whole different way.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a godsend to play with the 3D in Super Mario 3D Land as well. So.
And it's really awesome, especially when you would look through the binoculars. I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!"
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is about Shinobi on the 3DS is that there are also anime cutscenes to actually tell a story. I mean, they're anime cutscenes, but they actually act more kind of like a motion comic book or a motion graphic novel of sorts.
Well, I know what you mean, but yeah,
so it's kind of like Peace Walker.
Kind of like Peace Walker and Infamous in a sense. So yeah, but the animation actually looks more anime rather than graphic novel.
I can deal with that.
So it's manga.
Yeah, it's a manga, in a sense.
Ooh, me gusta.
Yeah, and you actually don't play as Joe Musashi from the Shinobi games. You actually play his son or his successor, Jiro Musashi.
Not having the original. Oh, they're pulling up Metal Gear Solid 2.
No, it's not that. But
it's more like Metal Gear Solid 3.
But what actually holds lots of replay value for this game is that you can actually have achievements to unlock, which gives you all sorts of bonus stuff. Like you could actually play these challenge maps, and you can actually unlock characters. Like you can even unlock Joe Musashi from the original Shinobi games, as a playable character in the missions as well. And you can even have some really special weapons, like the Golden Axe from the Golden Axe games, making a cameo.
Achievements are crap.
Yeah, but what's actually really challenging in the gameplay as well is that, since it's all side-scrolling based and it has that arcadey feeling, that means you're going to be obtaining points in the level. And even though you obtain points, every time when you take damage from enemies, you'll actually have penalties, meaning that you can actually lose points. So it's like you're racing through the whole level without even trying to get hit, which, is really hard. But you know, it adds a bit more.
It's a fun challenge.
It's a fun challenge. But yes, Shinobi on the 3DS, I definitely like it with a passion, and I definitely think it was a great return of, you know, an iconic series on the Sega Genesis. But too bad you won't be hearing any music from Yuzo Koshiro in this game, but at least, you know, it definitely holds up for a 3DS title, and I definitely think everybody should play it, and you guys definitely need to pick it up. It's definitely a great game that Sega has put out for the 3DS by far.
And then came Sonic Generations.
Next to Sonic Generations, yeah. So yeah, for those of you complaining about the drought of the 3DS games, well, look no further with Shinobi on the 3DS. You'll actually have lots of fun with it.
And Super Mario Land.
And Super Mario 3D Land, and like others
and
like
Super
Cave
Mario
Story 3D that also came out.
As you can get for free on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can buy it on the Wii. Doesn't matter.
But yeah.
Buy all the versions if you want.
But yes, that's all I've been playing. And like I said, I'm still looking forward to Skyward Sword until tomorrow. But I'll have to definitely give you my 2 cents on that for the next episode as well. So
looking forward. Yeah,
thank you. And I think that will go ahead and that will actually wrap up this episode of the 4DS podcast, the Zelda episode. So yeah, it was a really fun experience, and hopefully we get to do this again where we do, you know, episodes that are, you know, themed related, kind of like this, and they should be lots of fun like this as well. Anyway, we all hope that you enjoyed this episode of the 4DS Audio Podcast, and to sign off, I am RPG.
I'm TheBadGamer.
I'm Cardio.
I'm a Mega Mario.
And did you guys have any plugs before we log off?
Yes. Zelda Generation, make it happen.
Zelda Generations, yes.
Make it happen.
Pick up Skyward Sword if you have not done so already.
If you haven't, why are you listening to this? Why have you sat through this? You should have gone out and buy it and play it and enjoy the greatness that is Skyward Sword.
Yes. And if you need some relaxation, if any of you have been playing the CDI games while we've been listening to this, if you need some relaxation after realizing how bad they are, then go play Nintendogs plus Cats, like Omega has said.
And then the follow-up question, why? Why did you do it?
And for those of you who are bronies and wishing for the next entry in Nintendogs plus Cats to have ponies, then just pray and hope.
I'm with you guys. Let's pray together.
But anyway, to plug for me before we go, well, to be a bit more realistic, I did finish up Donkey Kong 64 for my Let's Play, and the final episode should be airing later today. And Tales of the Abyss should be debuting this Monday, and Kingdom Hearts is still going on right now. And I'm definitely going to be putting in a great 4 months with Tales of the Abyss as well as, you know, Kingdom Hearts. I don't know how much longer Kingdom Hearts is going to last, but I imagine it'll probably last at least about 2 or 3 months. But yes, lots more Let's Plays coming from me, and hopefully I can get a review up for this Christmas. I'd like to do Sonic Generations, or something that's really fun, you know, in terms of consoles, or maybe a PSP game, but I'll just have to wait and see. Or you'll just have to wait and see what comes from me. But anyway, we all hope that you really did enjoy this episode of the 4DS Audio Podcast, and we shall see you next Saturday. This is RPG signing off. Later, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Have fun.
Bye.
Skyward Sword for the win.
This has been Zelda Madness.
And we shall see you next week.